In this video I'm going to talk to you guys about the Favero Assiomas power pedals. Now I've had these for pretty much majority of this season. I did do an unboxing video and my initial impressions, and I think with all of these things it's really good to actually do a long-term review, and that's what this video is all about. Has my opinion changed on the power pedals? Have I got any more information to give you guys? Do I like them still? Do I not like them? I'm going to run through all of that. Initially I'm going to run through the likes and then the dislikes, and kind of overall impressions of the pedal, and hopefully you guys really enjoy the video and get something from it. Now, just a bit of information about the pedals. I have them set up with the Look Kyo compatible cleats. However, if you are a die-hard Shimano fan, then don't worry, because actually the power part, the spindle, the bit that screws into the crank arm, is really the only bit that you do need. So you can actually buy that separately and then use your own Shimano pedals. So if you don't like Look cleats for whatever reason, or Look pedals, or you just want to make sure you stick to Shimano, then you also can. Now obviously the main benefit of having this power meter system is the fact that they're pedals. So they're super easy to transfer between bikes. If you're like me and you've got a road bike or a training bike and a TT bike or a race bike, then you can transfer between them. That means that then you're going to get really similar numbers, or the same numbers, so it's going to be really accurate with your training. The issue with crank-based, for example, is you'd then need the same crank on your road bike as your TT bike. That can get really expensive, and then also it just makes life a little bit more difficult with traveling and stuff like that. Whereas when you've got pedals, you know, in the past they've not necessarily been super accurate, whereas the new, you know, Favero Assiomas pedals are just, I mean, they're the most accurate power meter that I've ever used, and the numbers are always consistent and they're super reliable, unlike other power meters that potentially, I mean, like crank-based power meters, you would assume that they would be more accurate, but actually the Faveros have been just incredibly accurate for me, which is really nice because they're super user-friendly. They're incredibly lightweight as well, which is really nice. Obviously, with a TT bike, it's not necessarily like the biggest thing you worry about with weight, but having something that's a little bit lighter is also beneficial for sure. When you are traveling for training and racing like me, I mean, I'm out in Lanzarote at the minute on a training camp that's coming to an end, unfortunately. You can put them in travel mode on the app, and that means that they will just lock and they won't automatically turn on when, you know, the plane's up in the air, and it can drain the battery of different things, which is really good. The only thing that I would mention is if you're gonna do that, you need to make sure you take your charging cables so that you can get them out of travel mode, essentially. But it's really good because the app does show you the battery level. I think you get 50 hours of battery, which is, I mean, plenty, to be honest with you, and the charging cables are amazing. They just clip in magnetically, and it's just, yeah, it's just a really clean, easy setup. The other big thing I would guess for more people racing in the UK is waterproofness. However, when I went to Belgium, the weather was not ideal either. Actually, it was absolutely fantastic leading up to the race, and then it absolutely pissed it down the night before the race. And I hadn't covered the bike because I think with Ironman races you're not actually allowed to cover the bike anymore for some reason. I've never understood that rule. If you spend this much money on a bike, surely you should be able to cover it. Anyway, that's another topic completely. But I was really concerned about, you know, are the pedals still going to be working in the morning? You know, they're going to have X amount of hours just sat in the pissing rain, essentially. Faultless, absolutely faultless. So I can say you can have complete confidence that in the rain, in the horrible weather that we get in the winter, or if you live in the UK or anywhere else that rains a lot, you don't need to worry about the power pedals. They're absolutely fine. Now, you can find loads of information about these pedals on different forums and online, loads of different reviews out there as well, so I would urge you to go and check those out. There's plenty on YouTube which are really good, a little bit more technical than this one. And I would say I don't really know anyone that's got a bad thing to say about the pedals, which goes to show they're absolutely amazing. They are so amazing, and I would honestly recommend them to anyone because they're not only an incredible power pedal, but they are at an incredible price as well. You can pay so much money for a crank-based power meter, and I don't think you're getting anything extra. You know, you're definitely not. So I think with the price point and the quality that you get, these are unmatched by anything. Now, I've tried really hard to think of something that I don't like about the pedals, because I always like to do this in a review video, is really pick it apart and just give you guys something that I dislike about something. Not obviously make it up, but I've had to try really hard with this. There is one thing. Now, this may be user error, and comment below if you've experienced the same, but the pedals spin very freely, very, very freely. And this can be a problem if you're like me, and let's say you're pulling up to a set of traffic lights and they're red, unfortunately, which sucks. And we're cyclists, so we have to obviously abide by the rules. If you jump red lights, shame on you, because you're part of the reason why cars don't like cyclists. So you pull up, you stop, you put your foot down, you're on a slight incline. There's a lot of pressure to get your foot clipped in once the light goes green. And I'm so bad at doing that, I end up fumbling about, and having the spindle just spins so freely, it makes it a little bit more difficult, because you push off and the pedal's kind of spinning around a little bit, and then you've just got to put your foot down, and if it's in the wrong place, it's in the wrong place. This may be a me problem, and also when there's less pressure on me, there's no cars around, there's no traffic lights, I don't have a problem at all. So maybe it's just me being a bit weird, but it's not really a problem as well. It's just the way it is. So I wouldn't even say that's a negative. I'd just say that's me being a bit of a muppet. But I kind of wanted to find something for you guys. I will always calibrate the power meter pedals before I start my race. So when I'm in transition, getting everything on the bike, bottles and everything, I'll calibrate the power meter pedals. Means that I know they're going to be super accurate. Then after that, they go into standby mode. Saves the battery, ready for you to get on the bike. It will link to your Garmin or your Wahoo straight away, and off you go, and you know you've got reliable numbers there. It's absolutely amazing. I would, like I said, recommend them to anyone. And having power is just such a useful tool to go on. Yes, you can use heart rate. Yes, there are other metrics that are useful. However, power is the most, I would argue, reliable source of information that you can have to help improve in your training and your racing. So yeah, I would leave more information in the description below. Short and sweet video from me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. If I missed anything out, or if you have the Faveros and you want to add to some of the things I like or dislike, drop them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, that's it. I need to get this thing packed up now, because I am going back to the UK tomorrow, unfortunately. So no more of this. Probably a lot more wind and rain and misery, but oh well, we'll be off to Florida soon, so it's really not that tough of a life. Yeah, packing this beauty up, and we'll be going to Florida pretty soon. But really appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.